Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to episode number 3. All the celebrations of the Ball Talk Boyos podcast. I'm once again joined by Joey Boreski, a bona fide Hoosier now, some would say. Joey, how you doing today?
Doing fantastic, ready to get into things with this pod here.
We are also joined by this week's special guest. He is a coffee enthusiast, the freshman sensation, one-time All-American, but soon to be like 4 or 5 after this year, whatever it works out to be. He's always looked better in red than he did in purple. Basically the mayor of Gray's Lake, Craig Hundley. Have they given you a key to the city just yet?
Not quite yet, no.
Are they holding out on that? Oh, okay. They're saving that one?
Yeah.
Okay, nice. Have you had time to enjoy the first 2 episodes of the best podcast in the world? Some are saying.
I listened to the Connor Wood podcast. I did not
The
listen
Connor
to
Wood? Okay.
I'm fake.
Okay. What, thoughts so far?
Pretty good. I like the engagement from both of you guys and then the special guest as well. It's pretty funny.
Okay. Nice. So, Craig, do you want to talk a little bit about your fandom, kind of like some of the sports? You've had some allegations lately drawn towards you as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. So football-wise, there's been a lot of allegations about me being a fake Bears fan, a bandwagon. I don't know how you can bandwagon a 3-win team, but anyways, yeah, I grew up watching football. That was the first sport I ever watched, and the first game I ever watched was the 2011-2012 season, so that would be the Patriots-Giants Super Bowl, and I watched the Patriots get dismantled, and then my dad was like, oh yeah, Brady lost again, and I'm like, I don't know what any of this means, but I like this guy, so ever since
that's fair.
started watching him. Obviously grew up in Chicago, Illinois area, so hey. So yeah, Bears fans all around me. So like I rooted for the Bears, but Tom Brady was my guy, and I mean he was good, so I just fired him.
Yeah. And Greg, what would you say are your like 4 or 5 favorite sports to watch? Joey, answer this question too, because I don't know if I really know how you feel about like different sports as well.
Real quick, college sports are different than pro sports too.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
differentiate between those.
Sure,
Okay.
yeah. But Craig, go ahead.
NFL number 1, NBA number 2. I would have to go college basketball 3.
Okay.
Track and field 4. If that's, I don't know.
That's right.
And then
Yeah.
5, probably baseball now, recently.
Okay. Nice. Joe?
Yeah, college basketball is definitely my number 1. College football is my number 2. I'd say my number 3 is the NFL. Number 4 to watch is probably between the NBA and the Premier League.
Oh.
And then track and field, I love watching track and field, but certain track and field companies don't like to promote the sport for free and spread the sport, so it's kind of behind a paywall that no one wants to pay for. So if that was different, that'd be higher, but it's not.
Okay. It's only gonna get worse from here. But Joey, you also tweeted recently about your Costco trips in the last week. What's our number looking like? I did bet the house one way, so if not, then we might be shutting this podcast down after number 3. So,
All right, well, that depends. Are we starting the week like the calendar week, like Sunday, or are we starting the week on Monday?
from the tweet, how many times have you been to Costco?
When did I tweet this? Let me just pull this up real quick.
Okay, no
I don't-
worries.
I-
We'll let
I
you
don't
take
allow
your time.
tweets.
There's my bookie is right here, and he's ready. He's ready to come for everything. He's ready to rip this computer right out of my hands. So,
Well, Topher, you're a betting man, and as long as you bet the over here, you're all good. Because
yeah, absolutely.
it's day six since the tweet. Or no, it's 5 days since the tweet, but 6 days including the tweet, and I've gone 4 times.
Oh my gosh. How far of a drive is it to the Costco now for you from wherever you are?
Less than 5 minutes.
What's your order each time?
My Costco order.
Yeah,
I go there, get the hot dog, get a slice of cheese pizza.
fuzzy. Yeah.
Um, if I'm feeling like a really, really unhealthy person, I'm not gonna say some other descriptors there, but if I'm feeling really unhealthy, I'll go with the chocolate cookie too.
Okay.
I miss the churro. The churro was great, but yeah, that's my order. Most of the time though, it's just the pizza and the hot dog, but that's still plenty unhealthy. But it's like
Hmm.
368 or something for both of them.
Oh,
So you're telling me I get a hot dog, drink, and a slice of pizza, and a big slice of pizza too for less than $4 in this economy?
you-
Yeah,
you'll,
yeah, yeah.
you'll take that every time. Craig, are you much of a Costco guy yourself?
I think I've been there 2 times in my life.
Really? Interesting.
Yeah, not a big Costco. How about you?
I'm okay. I'm like in between. I was always much more of a Sam's Club kid growing up. Shout out to my parents. I have no clue if you watch this. We never talked about me doing this. You just kind of found out. So I have no clue if they've watched any of this. But if you're watching it, and if Sam's Club, you're watching, Mr. Club, can I call you Sam? Perchance, if you want to hit us up for a, or Costco, either one. We're not picky in terms of sponsorships. So
We'll take any sponsorship we
yeah,
can
we'll
get right
we'll
now.
take.
Literally, does not matter. Does not matter.
Yeah. El Supermercado Nuevo Centro offer still stands. We will take payments in tacos. Like that's.
We're cheap too. We're cheap too.
Yeah.
Honestly, it'd just be fun to sponsor something for no
Yeah.
reason.
Just give us,
Like
just give us something
legitimately.
to talk about. People are probably sick of hearing us talk about ball. So like, that's not what they're here for. So yeah, give us something to endorse. Um, Over the last couple of days, I've been on YouTube just watching highlights of obscure Olympic events that have been going on. Have you guys been watching any of the Olympics over these first like week or so, whatever it's been?
Craig.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I've been watching a good amount. Just I tuned in especially for the Serbia USA game. I'm a Jokic
Okay,
guy, so
sure.
it's cool to watch my idol get ruined. But yeah, other than that, it's swimming, gymnastics, and then just basketball.
Basic. Okay, nice. Joe?
I haven't been like watching the events in specific, but I've been following the Olympics. I've seen swimming's killing it for America. Men's gymnastics team medaled. Women's gymnastics team, shout out them. They got the gold medal, which is huge.
Yeah.
Um, Obviously, the Team USA basketball is looking like they're in a good position to clinch the gold now after how they've been looking, especially like today. They looked much, much better. I know we'll get into
Yeah.
that more later, of course, but yeah. So I'm liking what the USA is doing right now.
Yeah, I think Katie Ledecky just won her eighth gold medal um, today. What question for you guys? Because while watching some of these obscure things, I get a little irrational, as most people do. What Olympic event do you think would be the easiest for you to qualify in? Like, if you had all the money, all the time in the world, what event do you think you could qualify for?
Are we talking just outdoor or like Summer Olympics or Winter Olympics too?
Yeah, yes, Summer Olympics.
Man.
Because I know my answer.
Mm, I want to say. What's your answer? Like, can you go first?
I think I could do it in kayaking. Like watching, like I don't know if any of you guys have ever watched. Like I kayaked a little bit, like at different points and watching the way some like they like spin all the way around through like the man-made like rapids, and I was like, I think I could do this. Like I like give me, we got LA in 4 years. Like if I really podcast and kayaking and yakking, that's all I'm doing. Joey, did you have any thoughts in mind?
Yeah, my answer's got to be handball. Um,
Handball? That's not a bad one.
Team USA hasn't qualified in handball since I think believe it was when they hosted in the '90s. So
Okay.
it's one of the sports that America's not been great at, and I feel like being able to. I mean, it's America. We're good at like pretty much every sport. So
Yeah.
if I just go in there, turn that program around. I'm a program builder. As you'll see in my college football 25 dynasty, I build programs from the ground up. So just being able to go into that handball program and turn it around, I think I'm the man for that job. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. But would you be like player coach? Is that what we're talking about here? Like you're
I
running the
could be
team?
I could be whatever. It doesn't matter. We'd be successful as long as I'm there in the building.
Like if you're coaching on the sideline, you're like they're messing this up. You're hopping in. Like you're just like Kevin Hart at the NBA Celebrity All Star game, where like at halftime he decided to check in, even though he was coaching.
I'm a hands-on coach, so I might dabble in the game itself a little bit. Yeah.
Okay, Craig, did you come up with an answer for this?
Yeah, now that I think about it, I feel like the easiest one, the target shooting, like all you have to do is shoot a gun and aim. I think that my years of Fortnite, I've never shot a real gun in my life ever, but I know like precision.
Let's get Peyton to train you.
Yeah, boom, perfect.
It's perfect. All right, we're doing that as a vlog one of these days, Joe.
Real quick, did y'all see that the person who got second in like the target shooting was from Turkey and was just like a dude, didn't have any headphones, eye protection, nothing, just a dude, just a normal Turkish dude, just went out there and shot it.
That was one of the other
Crazy.
things that I noticed with some of these like shooting. It's not necessarily like the shotgun, but like the like pellet laser, whatever they shoot from like the pistols. It seems like they're all wearing like different styles of glasses, and I feel like that should be cheating because like the lady that won had one of those that had like the double like things right here. So I feel like, and then there were people that were just like doing it with none, and I'm like, that makes no sense. Like I would get whatever advantage I can in this. Like,
Yeah.
like that feels a touch silly, but you know, at heart, we're track athletes. Like that's what we do. That's kind of our bread and butter. We're distance runners. And those events obviously start tomorrow. It's the race walk tomorrow, so it doesn't really start. It starts Friday. Did you guys have any thoughts on the track events at the Olympics?
Yeah, I think Noah Lyles is gonna tear it up. That's like the
Yeah.
first thing that like you hear track and a casual person's gonna be like, oh yeah, Noah Lyles, the guy I see everywhere talking crap about other sports.
Mhm.
I think he's gonna have a field day. And then I mean we're distance
He
guys,
goes
so
track, not field. Just want to make
yeah,
sure
sorry.
you know
He'll
that.
have a
Yeah,
track
yeah,
day. He'll have a track
yeah.
day.
I feel the track. Yeah.
Distance wise, I mean, skip over all the. I think Grant Holloway will have a nice day too. But anyways, I think Jakob's gonna double, and he's gonna win both. Or I don't think he's gonna double. He will double. I think he's got both. I think Grant Fisher's gonna sneak in a medal. Call me
Yeah.
crazy. It'd be
No,
awesome.
I agree. Yeah.
And I think another one, like just a random name, not random, but I think Hocker can get. I think he can get bronze. I think so.
Yeah. Yeah. Him and Fisher are probably the two. Fisher I'd probably put as a little better of having odds to medal because he's been closer than Hocker has, I think. I think Hocker was what, sixth, I think, at Tokyo,
Yeah.
and Grant's been like sixth and fifth a couple of times in these world championship races, but I think he has the kick to kind of stick around for some of these. Joey, any predictions or things headed into this weekend?
Yeah, a lot of the same things that you guys said. Sidney McLaughlin's going to win. We all know that, though, going in. Another woman, Gabby Thomas, I think she has a really good shot to take home gold. But my big prediction for distance-wise in the men's side was Cole Hocker medaling. I think that he he's such a great championship racer, and
Yeah.
I feel like he could not only medal, but I don't see a reason he can't win it. I don't see a reason he can't win it. Call me crazy, say what you want. I don't think he's gonna win it. But if we get to the end of if we get to the gold medal race and Cole Hocker is your Olympic champion, I'm not gonna say I told you so, but I won't be surprised because I don't think
You
he's gonna
will
win, but he can win.
1,000% say I told you so.
Yeah.
I will.
You will
We'll
be
clip
doing-
this. We'll clip this and we'll post it.
Okay, okay. Him beating Yared was pretty surprising in the U.S. champ. So I think he definitely has a shot at bronze, but unfortunately it's a two-man race between Kerr and Jakob, and I think Josh Kerr has him. I think they've in the last couple of years figured out how to race Jakob, and I think I'm going with Josh Kerr. I'm also a Jakob hater. Um, I can't stand him. So I will take Kerr 9 times out of 9. So like I have no issue with that. Craig, you kind of mentioned Noah Lyles a little bit. There's been some debate about who should be labeled as the fastest like man in the world and like what the criteria should be. It was bouncing like should it be the world record holder? Should it be the current world champion, Olympic champion? Where do you guys fall on like at the end of the day, what do you have to do to be earn the world's fastest man?
I think it. I think it's off record. I think that we like labeled Michael Jordan as the GOAT when he was retired, and
Sure.
obviously the conversation has changed, and LeBron is, like you have to set the record, and then you are the GOAT. I don't think that you're fast right now. Okay, so if it's era by era, then that's not fair. It's like
Yeah.
we're just calling everybody the GOAT of eras. It's not a GOAT. That's like you did good during this time, but Usain still has the record. That's how I see it. I think Usain's the GOAT, and
Okay.
I don't know if he'll ever be touched,
That's
honestly.
that's fair.
Yeah.
Joe?
Yeah, I completely agree with Craig. I think whoever's the world record holder is the fastest man in the world. So,
Okay.
yeah, I think that, I mean, obviously people would beat Usain Bolt right now, but Usain Bolt's the fastest man in the world until that record's not his anymore.
Yeah, I guess I fall a little bit more like current day on it, and I view like world's fastest man. Obviously, the greatest is like Usain, but I do think what matters more now is like who most recently like won the big thing. Like I don't care about world lead times. Like there's so much that goes into that. Like there's the difference in weather and like competition and like track quality and stuff like that. That I just feel like whoever's won the most recent big thing, like even if you want to say the most recent Olympics, not just World Championships, because World Championships is every other year as opposed to the Olympics is every 4. But I do feel like it needs to be a little more modern as opposed. I'm not calling Noah Lyles the greatest. I think he's very good, but I think it has to be much more modern day than for this like instance. So
Makes sense.
yeah. A couple of other we talked about Grant Fisher. Craig, you already said you thought he was going to medal. Joe, did you?
I think he has a good shot to medal.
Okay.
I think he's looked really good. I'm just a little concerned about the doubling, honestly, and how that's gonna impact him and his ability to be at his peak. Because but the 10K's first, correct?
Yeah, that's Friday.
Yeah. So, I mean, if the 10K, I think the 10K is where his best shot's gonna be, and if the 10K doesn't go well, I don't know if I'd put all my money on the 5K. I know it's a much longer period of time than
Yeah.
like the trials is, for example, but still.
I think it's actually the same.
Really? Okay. So I think the fact that he's going to have that extra wear and tear compared to some other people in that 5K, if he's going to medal, it's going to be the 10K in my opinion.
Okay.
So I don't see him medaling just. If he medals in both events, it's cool, but he's not going to just medal in the 5K. It'll be the 10K or nothing in my opinion.
Okay. That's fair. Yeah, I think they try and model the U.S. championships to be as close to the same schedule as the Olympics. So, all fair thoughts. Couple of other big events I wanted to talk about. 400 hurdles from the men's side. Obviously, women's we kind of talked about it. Sydney McLaughlin and then Femke Bowl. But I think we all think Sydney. Who do you guys think from the 400 men's side of things? Because it's really Rye, Karsten Warholm, and Dos Santos. I think his name is the Brazilian guy.
Yeah, Warholm's the only guy that I like pay attention to.
Okay.
Call me ignorant for that. I don't really care, but yeah, I
Yeah,
think
you just hate America then. I want Rye Benjamin to win. So, Craig, how do you feel now saying that you admit you hate America?
Yeah. What the heck, you freaking racist?
No, we can't.
Whoa!
I don't think we can leave that in. We'll make the call on that later on. Jiminy crickets, Joseph. Writing that one down. If this stays in, then who really cares? But Jiminy crickets, Joey. I'm writing down 1933. Joey calls Craig racist. This is probably staying in. Joey calls Craig racist. Got it.
Yeah,
Okay.
my bad.
While we're on the topic, shout out to what's his name? Boogie Knight 72 for saying we don't know ball. We appreciate it. We need someone to say it because we probably don't.
Yeah, I was just giving us a transition into that. My bad.
Transition into that? Yeah. 400 hurdles. So, yeah, Joey.
Yeah, I think Benjamin has a really good shot to win. I'm not well versed in 400 hurdles, but I think that
Okay.
he's
So you're
been
a
in good
casual.
form recently.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a casual. 400 hurdles for sure. For sure, I'm a casual. Yeah.
It's all right. It's all right. It's okay. Hey. One other thing I want to mention. Are you guys going to stay up for the marathon? It is at 1 a.m. our time.
No.
You guys aren't going to stay up for the marathon? Even just to watch Connor Mance? Maybe I'm just the nerd. Even just to watch Connor Mance and Clayton Young, BYU boys,
Nope.
It's like
Can't do
it's
it.
2 a.m. here.
the Flying Mormons.
Getting too old.
You're getting too old. Maybe it's just me then. But I'm very excited to watch them run. Even though they probably get rolled, it'll be fun to watch. Couple of other Olympic notes. Craig kind of alluded to it. Any takeaways from Team USA matchups against Serbia on Sunday, and then they played South Sudan earlier today? Any thoughts, Joey? Oh, Craig, go ahead.
My bad.
No, you're good.
I'm passionate about this one.
Go ahead then.
I think LeBron, through this Olympic, though, like the Olympics alone, his case for the GOAT to me is like just rising. It's like this dude is about to be 40 years old, and he is the best player in the world against some of the other best players in the world on a team of the best players in the world, and he is still carrying. They're relying on him. Like no LeBron, no gold. That's what I say. And yeah, he's proven it once again that he can't be guarded by anyone. And
I have nothing to say.
I think that
Sorry.
their only downfall is their coach. I think Steve Kerr is not the best coach. I think he's been carried by Steph Curry his entire career. And he was gifted a dynasty immediately. So I don't know why he got the Olympic coaching job. This team didn't even do anyways. That's a whole nother thing. Keep KD has to be healthy for them to win gold, I think. Tatum has to actually play because I think he
Started today.
Yeah. He did a lot to earn that start.
He wasn't bad.
No, yeah, he did good. But yeah,
He wasn't great.
LeBron, just play through LeBron. That's it. It's LeBron's team.
Joey?
Yeah, I completely agree. I think LeBron. I mean, we are all witnesses, man. He Father Time just has nothing on LeBron. He keeps proving that he's one of, if not the best players in the world, even at this age. And I think that, like Craig said, Team USA would not have a shot without LeBron. So, yeah.
Yeah. We'll go with that. You cut out for a little bit. The recording should still have whatever you said. I'm sure you said something great, but yeah, we lost you for a second. It's okay. LeBron, I honestly think he could play until he's 50, but I think he's gonna get bored at some point. Like it's LeBron freaking James. Like that's all that really needs to be said about him. Craig, you brought up a really interesting point about Steve Kerr. I think the first thing that comes to mind is I feel like coaches in general kind of fall on two ends. Is you fall on like more of like the motivating and like the managing like things, and then you fall on like more like the tactician and like the understanding like offensive game planning. I'm sure he does that, but I think he falls more on the former than the latter of things. So, and I just don't know who else. Who would your option be instead of him? Because obviously it was Coach K for a very long time. It was Pop. Was it Pop? The last couple of.
And
Was it Pop? Okay. But so who would your be replacement for him?
Michael Malone. Mike Malone.
Mike Malone? Oh, okay. He doesn't get along with LeBron, so I don't think he would be. I don't think LeBron would be on the team if Mike Malone were coaching. Joe, who do you think should be coaching Team USA?
Man, I just think there's not really a great option right now. I think we're kind of in the point where a lot of these great former coaches like Coach K, like Popovich, are getting to the point where they're at the tail ends of their careers, or retired. So I just think there's not like an obvious candidate in my mind right now.
Okay. Oh, see, a lot of like the debates and talks that we do on this show so far, I feel like there's no wrong answer to what you guys both said. The wrong answer though, it's Joe Mazzulla. We need a little crazy, all right? We need a little rah. Like, you're telling me he wouldn't go full blown America? I don't even know if he's American. You tell me he wouldn't be out there with his face painted in these games? Like, we need a little crazy.
Yeah, he's pretty crazy.
The Team USA is basically the Celtics as is. I mean, they've got Derek White, Drew Holiday, and Jason Tatum.
Yeah.
So Jaylen Brown probably should have been on the team too. So we need a little cuckoo. Why is Joel Embiid on this team? Like actually, he didn't play today. He was -8 in the 11 minutes he played on Sunday. Every time he looked at the ball, he got booed, which was kind of funny. So why is Embiid on this team?
I mean, I don't think he should be on the Team USA to begin with. Obviously, there's a lot of controversy about his citizenship, all this, France, like stuff like that. Why did he pick Team USA? Easy gold medal, obviously, is what everybody says. But I just feel like the whole point of the Olympics is playing where you are from, where you were born or like raised for the majority of your life. I think that is kind of like a cop-out to just play with the best players ever, and now he's not even in the rotation. Now it's like, oh, yeah, okay. Oh, here's this gold medal.
I bet he is back eventually. It's probably just a game off to see, because, I mean, Steve Kerr had kind of said he kind of wants to run things through Curry, him, and LeBron. So, Joey, thoughts?
I mean, I think Embiid spent a lot of his childhood in America. He went to high school in America, and he played college ball in America. So if you were raised somewhere, I mean, and you're a citizen of the place, I don't think there's a reason you shouldn't be able to play for it. I get the whole reason he's getting booed because the French want him to be like the triple Eiffel Tower with Victor Wembanyama and Rudy Gobert, but he's a great player. And I think I'm sorry, I didn't even.
No, it's okay.
That's all I was thinking at first.
I think a lot of the reasons people, I think he kind of said he would play for the French team, like at one point or another he has, and I think that's kind of the reason for people thought the triple Eiffel Tower was going to come into play. We talked about LeBron and his greatness a little bit. Did you guys see the Isaiah Thomas comments on Twitter? Recently. Did you not see it, Joe? Craig, did you see it?
Yes, I saw it.
Okay.
Him saying that LeBron wouldn't be the best player in the 70s.
Yeah, I have the quote pulled up right here. So I think what kind of started this was Lou Williams and it was Gilbert Arenas, right? And this is an old podcast that they did a few years ago, and Lou basically said that if you drop LeBron in 1975, he wins 15 straight, to which Isaiah Thomas just recently found out about, I guess, and he said, I find it comical and laughable how some, not all people, think this is the first generation of basketball players that athletically could run and jump. I'm not sure he would be the best athlete in 1975, all things equal. So would LeBron be the best athlete in 1975?
I think at age 39 he would be the best player in 1975, let alone his prime. If we're talking 2013 Miami Heat, LeBron jumping out of the gym, jumping over players, literally, people are going to he will be drug tested every other week in the 70s. And at age 39, LeBron, he's not getting touched. I looked up some stats on this. At age 39, year 21, LeBron's averages put into the 1975 season, he would be top 5 for points per game. He'd be first for assists per game. He would be first for field goal percentage. 40 years old. Isaiah Thomas, I'm sorry, just shut up. Why do you hate two of the best players ever? Why? I've never understood that. LeBron is and will be talked about forever, and it doesn't matter what era it is. It doesn't matter if it's in the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, 2048. It doesn't matter. LeBron will be top 5 no matter what.
Yeah. Pretty solid game. Did you guys ever have a strategy when you played 2048?
Yeah.
I would filter
100%.
everything down to the bottom left. So everything down or to the left. I would never go up. It was always down and to the left. I didn't want to go right at all. It was all down, left. It was all. Craig, did you have a strategy when you played?
Yeah, never go up. Big numbers always in the bottom left corner. I think you sent me, when you won 2048, or when you beat it, you sent it to me, and then you got me hooked onto it, and then I beat it, and it was pretty cool.
Yeah, I was grinding on that for a little bit. Shout out to my jockey days. We were grounded on 2048. Joe, your thoughts on Isaiah Thomas's comments? Shout out Micah.
Just sounds like Isaiah Thomas is a grumpy old head. I mean, he's just completely wrong, and I don't know why he is just talking when he can look up what Craig did and see that he's not even close to correct. So,
How old are we allowed to be before we become grumpy old heads? Because I think I already am. I think I'm not too far off.
gotta graduate college. Then you can be a grumpy old head.
Gosh darn it!
Dang it.
Yeah.
You know, on all my college tours, I'm not allowed to tell the visiting families that I'm a 5th year, because our school has a 4-year graduation guarantee, and there's 95% of students. Craig, we're the 5%. What were we talking about? Oh, Isaiah Thomas. Yeah, he just sounds like he just needs to get off the internet. We all probably should. Move on a little bit. Couple of other, we've got lots to talk about. Do we want to talk about the 2 in Love extensions real quick?
Yeah.
We got plenty of time. We'll probably go for another hour, so I don't know why I'm talking like we're in a rush. I'm going to come up with so many more random things to say. I feel like that's what the people would really enjoy, is hearing those thoughts. 2 in Love extensions. What did you guys think about hearing about those?
I think that if you asked me this a few years ago, I'd be like, that was the worst signing ever. And initially on Twitter, I was like, let's go, super hyped up. But it doesn't matter until the contract is up, is what I've learned. Or they're released or traded, whatever. Until their time is done with the team, I don't think the contract should be talked about, because a ring can happen. And I'm one of those people, I would pull a Los Angeles Rams a couple years ago and just pay every single person, get Jalen Ramsey, get Matt Stafford. If it's for a ring, that's what the city wants. That's what the players want. I think that money is kind of the lesser of everything. And that's towards the individual player. Why do we care? If they want to be selfish and take a max, all right, cool.
Mm-hmm.
If a ring comes out of it, that's all that matters.
Joey?
Yeah, I mean, we've been saying the same thing every week. Winning alleviates all the issues or all the problems people have with contracts. So if the Packers or if the Dolphins win something, then great. That's a great contract. They got a bargain then. I don't know if the Dolphins. I'm a little more hesitant about the Dolphins just because I'm not nearly as high on Tua as I am Jordan Love, and plus I think the Packers have such a good young core that Jordan Love being there long term and having those cheap young players alongside him, they're going to be an issue for a long time for a lot of teams. But the Dolphins, man, I'm not a huge fan of the Tua contract right now. The Jordan Love contract, though, I do like.
Yeah, I think you guys kind of both hit the head of it. With Joey and I, every time we talk about contract extensions, we're like, or just contracts in general, if you win, it doesn't really matter. Like, who cares what you paid to do it? Like, you won, whatever, so be it. Like, if that brings a championship, then that makes the contract immediately worth it, in my opinion. I did a little bit diving. They essentially got the same contract. Tua was for about $7 million less, $7-8 million. The biggest thing I looked into is because we talk about $7 million less total. I think Craig made a face, but I couldn't tell. You kind of cut out. But whatchamacallit? The biggest thing I looked at and we talk about is you either have to be a top 5 quarterback or you have to be on a rookie contract. Just from like the numbers and how much it like costs. It's the same thing. Connor, shout out Connor, he was on the last episode. He talks about all the time, like top 5 quarterback or a rookie deal. I looked into like kind of the breakdown of each of their contracts, and the biggest difference is that Love is very backloaded on his. So his cap hit, so how much it counts towards the cap, it's this year it's 20 million, next year 29, 26 it's 36 million, in 27 it's 42 million, and then 28 is when it's 74. So that's when it's the big jump. But by then, like, they'll just do the restructuring of it if it's still good, and then it'll come back. Like, it's what Patrick Mahomes has done for years. I mean, his cap hit's only been, I have it pulled up, it's been 37 the last 3 years and goes up to 66 million starting next year. But I bet next offseason he signs a restructuring and then it comes back down because, like, that's all it is. I mean, Jordan Love, we talked about him last week. Like, he's probably a top 10 quarterback in this league. In 2026, when he's probably at his prime or close to it, his cap hit is going to be the 15th highest among current contracts. So that's of the ones that are currently signed. Tua's is obviously a lot higher because in 26 his is around double what Love's is. So, like, just in terms of like a money like perspective, Love's is a slam dunk. Tua's I don't love as much, but we've kind of hit like the reasons why. Mike McDaniel, I also don't trust him. I don't trust his scheme, or I feel like it's built kind of to be great in the regular season. Then as guys kind of start to get hurt, it'll fade out a little bit. But any other thoughts on those two contracts?
I think that the only player who should have like a super max is Patrick Mahomes. That's it.
Probably.
And Caleb Williams.
It's not. See, that actually brings me into my next thing that I wanted to talk about, because I could be completely. This is old news from when I looked into it again, but I saw like a clip from the Rich Eisen show reported by Albert Breer, where they talked about how in like the pre-draft things, they started implementing Caleb Williams into the offense, and that they have like 3 1-hour Zoom calls, and already in that time they were like working him into the offense, teaching him the terminology, like explaining how they break things down. Are the Bears actually going to do this right? Like, are they not going to mess it up?
I don't think so.
No, it's the Bears. They're gonna mess it up. They always do. I mean, and unless Caleb's something special, which he could be, he has the potential to be. I wouldn't trust the Bears. Who's the Bears' new offensive coordinator this year?
Greg Roman, is that his name?
That sounds right, but I think unless whoever the Bears' offensive coordinator is knows what he's doing and can actually develop a quarterback.
Shane Waldron.
Oh, Shane
Oh,
Waldron.
yeah. Shane Waldron's he's pretty good. But the Bears.
Who the heck is Greg Roman?
He's an NFL coordinator as well.
offensive
like,
coordinator for the Chargers. So he's an actual person. I did not make him up. Sorry, Joey. Go ahead. Continue.
I mean, history does repeat itself, though. The Packers, Jordan Love, another great quarterback. The Bears, as much as it'd be great to see them break out of the cycle, I just don't trust it. Until they prove me otherwise, I don't trust it. I thought my sweet, beautiful, glorious Justin Fields was the guy to make it out for them, but if they messed up Justin Fields after how good Justin Fields was in college and how good of a pocket passer Justin Fields was, I don't trust them with Caleb Williams either.
Did you guys see that? I don't think it was real, at least. Craig, I know you saw it, but the fake report today that Russell Wilson and Justin Fields got into a fight at practice, and it was I fall for these all of the time, but it was saying that Justin Fields like threw a touchdown pass and then looked over at Russell Wilson, was like, most overpaid backup quarterback in the league, like should be making sandwiches or something like that. And I was like, I fall for these all of the time. Yeah, Craig, thoughts on Caleb Williams? You weren't around for our Bears Outlook episode, but any thoughts on that?
I am so excited. I have been on the Caleb Williams train since Oklahoma. Anyone saying, oh no, USC? No, Oklahoma, Caleb Williams. So watching him win Heisman was pretty cool. Like, oh yeah, this is awesome. You know, USC stud, another star from USC. And then he comes back and I'm like, wait, Bears suck. I already don't like Justin Fields. So in my head, I was like, this could happen.
Cover the D.
Fatty eating donuts. But yeah, I was like, this could happen. And I always kept in the back of my head, I'm like, all right, tank for Caleb would be awesome. We trade with the Bears trade with the Panthers. And first overall pick, Panthers end up sucking again. First overall pick for the Bears again. Everyone's like, trade it. We have our star Justin Fields. It has to be Caleb. So when he was picked, I have never been more confident about a player since Johnny Manziel, and that didn't turn out well. But anyways, I haven't been more like follow a player from like the start and then till the wheels fell off, and I don't think these wheels are falling off within year 3 like Johnny. This is like there's clips coming from like practices. Obviously it's practice, but the Bears have a top 3 defense in the league. And Caleb Williams is dicing them in practice. Obviously, there's been reports. He's doing an interception. He's a rookie. But yeah, I'm so excited for Caleb. He is a do-it-all quarterback. I think he's a mini Mahomes, and he's got better targets than Mahomes did his first year. So, I don't know. I think something special can happen. Outside of Kelsey. Keenan Allen, DJ Moore, Illinois legend.
Yeah, I would tend to agree. The one thing that I've always been hesitant on, I think they took too long to trade Fields. That was still before the draft, but I still think they took too long. But it sounds like they picked their guy. Like if it was up until draft night and they were like, oh, J.J. McCarthy or Caleb Williams, then I would have been like, oh, they're going to mess this up. But I mean, it sounds like they're all in on the Caleb hype train too, I guess. And like, you know, I'll just watch from afar. I'm not a Bears fan, but I'll watch and enjoy from afar to see if hopefully these cook up well. Joey looks like an idiot. I look smart because I said the Bears were going to be good now. So, you know, this will be our comeback around.
I just won't post the clip then.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Hey, we all know Connor's going to be wrong about 13-4 though. Whatever he said for that. All right, I thought something else. Last week we did top 10 quarterbacks heading into 2024 season. I figure we just keep going through next position on the list. Who do we have as the top 10 running backs heading into this 2024 season? All right, let's all say our number one. In 3, 2, 1. Christian McCaffrey. Yeah, okay. Who'd you say, DeAndre Swift?
Oh, yeah, CMC, yeah.
Oh, Taylor Swift? Did you guys see that AI edit?
Which one?
What?
there was this AI edit. You'll have to find it, but somebody edited like it was after like Travis Kelce got picked up and like pummeled, and then like it was Taylor Swift being like, "Fine, I'll do it myself," and then it showed her like edited her hand like catching a ball, and then.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, there was one other thing I wanted to mention with the Bears. Best quarterback in their team's history is Jay Cutler, and if you're ever in need of a fun time, look up Jay Cutler rushing highlights. He used to run through people, and like we talk about, like I saw this one highlight reel of this one guy. I have no clue what it is. I can't find the video now, but he's like Jay Cutler. He's like runs. Oh no, Jay Cutler! And he's like running people over, and he's like stiff arming people into the ground, and it's like, yeah. So if you're ever in need of a fun time, go look at Jay Cutler rushing the ball highlights. Joey, who's your number 2 running back heading into this year?
My number 2 running back is the man, the myth, the legend himself. Carried my team to 2 fantasy championships in a row, Breece Hall. Breece Hall is the second best running back in the league. And keep in mind, my top 10 list has to do partially with my prediction for this upcoming season. So if we're going based on like all-time stuff, like Breece Hall's not number 2 on this list yet, but I think Breece Hall is definitely, I think he's going to be closer to McCaffrey than he is going to be to the rest of the list by the end of the year too. I think the fact that he was still so good, especially at certain times last year, with how bad the Jets' offense was, that he was still a bright shining star in that, when defenses knew that all they had to do was stop Breece Hall and they'd be fine, just shows how good he is. And having Aaron Rodgers around this year is going to open up the whole offense, plus the offensive line is going to have improved too. Breece Hall is, and he's going to have his receiving game back, because that's what he was really good at his first year in the league, is he was great at catching the ball and being a good player in the passing game, but having no quarterback last year obviously didn't help that. So having Aaron Rodgers is going to allow Breece to be his true self this year, and I think that's the second best running back in the league.
Craig, number dose.
I have Bijan Robinson.
It's not a bad.
I
It's not a bad.
Kirk Cousins now in the offense. It's going to be
Big curveball.
It's going to be great.
Yeah, it's him and Breece Hall, I think, are the two that are going to have big breakouts this year because of the fact that their quarterbacks are so much improved based on last year.
Yeah, this list was definitely a lot tougher to work through compared to the others. The number 2 I have Saquon Barkley. I think he joined a lot better of a team. I think he gets more competitive touches, and I think he might even get more just because the offense is better this year, and I think they probably try and be a little more run dependent than they were. DeAndre Swift, my memory of this could be completely wrong. He was a 2-down running back, and they didn't really have a third down to mix it up in the passing game, and I think Saquon does a little bit better of a job. But obviously this list, we will probably have 9 different names the rest of the way down. So my number 3, Joey, you have him. Your 2, I have Breece Hall. I think year 2 post ACL surgery kind of allows for that, a little bit of explosiveness more to come back. Craig, who do you have at numero tres?
Mr. Etienne Jr. at 3. Uh-huh.
Wow. Interesting. Any particular reason?
I think he's an amazing receiving back. We've seen that. And I think that people have been saying this. This is the year Trevor Lawrence just takes a leap for the offense. And I think that'll help everybody around him.
Joey?
My number 3 is Jonathan Taylor. I think Jonathan Taylor last year had a rough go of it, but when the year before that, he came into last year the best running back in the league. People forget that. He was number 1 pick in every fantasy draft too. Jonathan Taylor was coming to last year on top, and I think he had a rough go of it with injuries last year. Plus the offense at the Colts wasn't great because they were playing Gardner Minshew instead of having their franchise quarterback in Anthony Richardson, who I think is great, by the way. Jonathan Taylor coming into this year healthy is going to be much improved over last year. He's going to be back to his old self, I think.
Okay, that's fair. Who do you have at your number 4?
Yeah.
Number 4?
My number 4 is Bijan. Like what Craig was saying, I think having Kirk Cousins there is going to be huge. I think having a different offense is going to be huge because last year they were using Tyler Algier and Jonnu Smith instead of Bijan Robinson, Kyle Pitts like they should have. So I don't know what they were doing last year, but I think Bijan's gonna break out this year, and I think this top four that I've said of McCaffrey, Brees, Jonathan Taylor, and Bijan, they're all going to be really elite this year. I think this is a great year for running backs. There's a lot of really elite running backs this year, and I think those four are like the cream of the crop.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree. I have Bijan at my 4 too, and no more Arthur Smith. I think alleviates a lot of those poor. Have fun with him, Trev. He's with the Steelers now, right?
That makes sense. The Steelers hire.
We're just gonna give Trev a shout out every single episode, but he's never coming on. Like we'll just say shout out. We'll just work Trev somewhere. I'm just kidding, Trev. I'm sure you'll come on when we decide to talk about Ben Roethlisberger. You can come on, or when Justin Fields takes over as a quarterback, you can come on then too.
That's
Craig, your number. What's that?
We both said that's better.
Yeah, Craig, your number 4.
Number 4, Brees Hall.
Brees Hall. Okay.
Same thing Joey was saying. Having Aaron Rodgers there is going to help a ton, too.
Okay. Who do you have next, then? 5.
I have Mr. Saquon Barkley.
Okay. Yeah. Yes, fair. Joey?
This one, I think, is really risky. But I think just based on his history and based on him being able to bounce back from things, I'm going with my Cleveland Brown, Nick Chubb.
Yeah.
I think Nick Chubb. He got injured beginning of last season. He'll have had the time to recover. I think that Cleveland. I think that he is. I think he's the way he plays at the running back position will allow him to find more success coming back from a major injury than someone like than most running backs do. I think like I kind of liken this to Adrian Peterson when he came back from that torn ACL. I think that he's going to come back and he's going to still be really elite, and I think that Nick Chubb is going to have a huge year this year and not really get slowed down by that injury too much.
What are the reports on him? Like, are they saying week 1? Are they saying TBD?
I saw week 4 to 5.
Week 4 to 5. Okay. I have no clue. I just wasn't sure. At my 5, I have Jonathan Taylor. I think if the bounce back doesn't happen this year, though, it will not happen.
Yep.
I think we're kind of running out of time for Jonathan Taylor. At number 6, I have Derrick Henry. I think he will get more opportunities. Not necessarily more opportunities, but I think he will get better opportunities and he will get more rest than he has in the past. I don't think he's a 30 carry a game guy anymore, but I think he's going to be like a high quality 18 to 22. So, Joey, you're number 6.
My number 6 is Jahmyr Gibbs. I think Jahmyr Gibbs is such a great running back and very explosive and is a great dual threat within the passing game and the running game. And I think that this year, having proven himself a little more, that Dan Campbell is going to run the offense and make him more of the primary back over David Montgomery. And I think Jahmyr Gibbs is poised for a little bit of a breakout as well. I think Jahmyr Gibbs is really talented, and I think just him being the 6th best running back in the league isn't really much based on how I think he's going to be. It's just going to be based on how Dan Campbell decides to use him. Because if he wants to ride with Montgomery again, then Jahmyr Gibbs isn't going to be the 6th best running back in the league. But if he gives Jahmyr Gibbs the primary load, then I think that Jahmyr Gibbs is the 6th best running back in the league.
Okay. Craig?
I also had Derrick Henry at my 6.
Okay. Any particular reason?
I just think it's a run-first offense, and that's perfect. It's going to be great. I think the options are going to be insane between him and Lamar. It's going to be so much fun to watch.
Yeah. My 7, I have Jahmyr Gibbs, and I think I kind of have fallen the same, that if Dan Campbell gives him I think I do expect a workload increase. I don't think it's much, because I think my tinfoil hat, putting it on, with them not kind of limiting him in his rookie year, I think that's their intent to kind of extend his career a little bit for them. At least that's maybe how I would try and do it if I were an NFL head coach. Who knows if that's actually what they're thinking and I'm just overreading it. But I think they're maybe trying to extend his career a little bit and get couple more miles out of him than beating him up his first 2 years. So, yeah, Craig, you're number 7.
Jonathan Taylor.
Jonathan Taylor. Okay. Anything else you want to add about him?
I think AR coming back is going to be pretty nice for the offense. It was a disaster last year. Shout out Minshew, but yikes. I think Richardson is going to be really good and might be the best quarterback out of that draft class when it's all said and done. Who knows?
Shout out the Wazoo. Shout out Big Cat. I know he just went over to Alabama, but Joey, you're number 7. Joey has no clue what I'm talking about.
My number 7 is Saquon Barkley.
Saquon?
Like Topher was saying, I think he's going to be great in that Eagles offense this year. I think he's going to actually have winning, like, competitive touches this year, like, in, like, a chance he has to win, not just garbage time, gets a touchdown, maybe. I think Barkley is going to be really impactful. I am a little concerned that he's going to start falling off, though, at this point, because he has been in the league for a while. But I think he's still got another good year or two in him.
Okay. Who do you have at 8 then?
My 8's Derrick Henry.
Derrick Henry.
I think Derrick Henry is not what he used to be, obviously, but being in that Ravens offense, which Ravens had that one, remind me of the name if someone remembers it, the running back last year, tore his ACL, was looking really good. Not J.K. Dobbins, obviously. J.K. Dobbins is, I love J.K. Dobbins, but I think something Williams.
No, he was the rookie.
Yeah. But I think that they're going to not overwork Derrick Henry for sure, and I think that him being in such a great offense like that and not having to do all the work himself, it's going to be a really good chance for him to kind of get less of a load but still be impactful at this point in his career.
Keaton Mitchell is the name.
Keaton Mitchell. Yep. That's it.
Craig, who do you have at your number 8 running back?
My number 8 is Nick Chubb.
Okay. That's fair. Any no concerns really about the injury, or just kind of like where you feel, kind of?
I had him so low because of the injury. If he wasn't coming off a torn ACL, I think he'd be in my top 3 most likely. I like Nick Chubb a lot.
This is his second tear. He tore one of his legs at Georgia, right?
Yeah.
Like when either his senior year or on his way out, he tore it. Yeah, I'm throwing stuff. Yeah, he tore it one of those couple of years. But yeah, my number 8. Gonna be completely honest, I have no clue where I'm going with these last 3. I might as well put up a dartboard, put all the starting, and just. Number 8, Kyren Williams. I know they drafted Blake Corum, but I still think he is the feature back. He probably doesn't get as many touches as he did last year. Last year he was in like 90% of their snaps. He probably doesn't get as much, but he was electric and carried my fantasy team to elimination in the first round. So because he fumbled, I think he had 2 fumbles. Yeah. Isaiah Likely head ass. Where are we at? My number 9. You guys said you're 8, right?
Yeah.
Okay. My number 9. Other workhorse from my fantasy team last year, Rachaad White. Efficiency wasn't great last year, but still a good receiving back, and hopefully he does a little bit better on the round. And shout out on the ground. Shout out ASU Sun Devils. My parents went there, so yeah. Did either your guys' number 9s? We'll start with Craig.
I said Jahmyr Gibbs.
Jahmyr Gibbs, yeah.
I think they know that he's the guy. Montgomery's good. He's an amazing goal line back, and I think that he should stay that way. I think Jahmyr Gibbs is an amazing pass catcher out of the backfield, and that guy is so shifty.
Joey?
Yeah, I agree that Montgomery's a touchdown merchant, but I'm gonna go with at my number 9, ETN. I think ETN is. I mean, I'm not as high on him as Craig is, but I think ETN's a very good running back. And if Trevor Lawrence does have that breakout year, we could be talking like about ETN like we talk about Brees and Bijan, and he could be in that upper echelon for me. I think he has all the talent. It's just going to kind of depend on what's around him, in my opinion.
Okay. Finish up our list, Joey, for us. Who's your number 10?
Number 10, I have Devin Achane. And I think that he this year is gonna be a little more prominent than Raheem Mostert's is, and I think that A-Chain is so explosive, and when he gets his touches, he runs like one of the best running backs in the league. I just think my concern for him is how much of a load he can carry, because he seems like he's kind of a put him out there like he reminds me a little bit of a guy you put out there a few times, has some explosive carries, gets a few touchdowns, but you can't really run the offense through him. So I think if he's played in the same role as last year, but maybe a slight increase, he's going to be one of the top 10 running backs in the league.
Craig, who we got at number 10?
I had a million honorable mentions.
Okay.
But based off the
You want to do?
I can do the honorable mentions first.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
We cannot forget about Alvin Kamara.
I think we can, but okay.
Yeah.
He was on my fantasy winning team. Anyways, I like him. I said Kenneth Walker. Could possibly. Joe Mixon in the new offense could be really fun to watch. I think DeAndre Swift is going to be amazing. Pacheco is a name that I also had in there, but I think that my number 10 has to be Josh Jacobs.
I have him too. Do you have any particular reason why?
He is getting out of a dumpster fire of an offense, with just atrocious to watch. Even when Derek Carr was there, like it was oof. Now he's with one of the best up and coming quarterbacks, and a pretty even play style. I feel like Aaron Jones was a star through it, and I think that Josh Jacobs, he had an amazing year in Oakland or Las Vegas not too long ago. He could do it again in Green Bay.
That was kind of the same reasons I had him. I feel like getting out of that situation will put him in a little bit better of a spot. So, yeah, I would agree. I think it's about time to introduce a new segment that we are starting this week. It's a new segment we like to call the Calf Talk Debate of the Week. So this is something that, sometimes we might put a little twist on something, but something that we'll, between the whatever group of us are on here, talk about something, and we'll see what we come up with. So this week, combining a little football and a little Olympic talk, who would win in a decathlon, Tom Brady or Peyton Manning? Okay. So now do we want to go through this event by event, or do you just want to go overall how we feel about it?
I say we go overall.
Overall, so really quickly. All right. So Joey, who do you have then?
All right. Well, I did my research, and for the javelin and discus throw, I thought that it'd be based on who could throw farther. And in the longest throw competition, Peyton Manning has a throw of 69 yards compared to Brady's 62. So I think Peyton Manning takes those. For the 100 and 400, I went based on 40-yard dash times. Tom Brady had a 5.17. Peyton Manning had a 4.8, so Peyton Manning wins those. For the shot put, I just went who benches more, and I read that there's a rumor that Peyton Manning could bench 350, and that Tom Brady's not much of a bench guy. So Peyton Manning wins that. And then Brady was only in the 3rd percentile for quarterbacks in vertical and his broad jump. So I think that means Manning wins the long jump and high jump. I think that combined with the better 40-yard dash times gives Manning the 110 hurdles. And then pole vault in 1500, it doesn't matter at this point because Peyton Manning's wiping the floor with Brady. But I will say that just shows how good Brady's mind was for football, because he's so much less athletic than even one of the least athletic quarterbacks such as Peyton Manning, and is still the greatest of all time. So, Craig, I think that's a good segue to you.
I also think that Peyton Manning would win, but I looked at things a little differently. I looked at the 100 going straight to Peyton just because of 40-yard dash, like you had said. We're talking about a 5.18 40 in Brady compared to a 4.8, so I don't think that's even close. I do think, though, that Brady in any distance event would have Manning, because we look at longevity. Brady played a lot more years. than Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning couldn't throw a ball 25 yards when it was all said and done. I know that has nothing to do with running, but think about his knees at the same point. So I think that...
What was his neck? It's carrying all around all that brain.
Yeah. So yeah, just watching him run like a 15, like just bobbling around and his head being like half of what's being covered by the camera. I just like aura wise, Brady just wins that just cause. Long jump. I was looking at some highlights of Tom Brady running the ball. He can hurdle people. They might be on the ground and they might be his own offensive lineman. Shout out Nate Solder. But I think he could snag one of those jumps.
Okay.
So, and then yeah, exactly what you said, Joey, with the longest ball throw, 69 to 62. I also read up on that, and Manning wins every throwing competition. It's not particularly close. Yeah, I got Manning overall. Manning in their primes, he's got it. But if we're talking right now, I think it's a clean sweep with
Okay,
Brady.
well, yeah.
I think only athletic thing Peyton Manning's done probably since he retired is golf, and he's probably a pickleball guy.
100%.
Like Tom
he's gotta be.
Brady's probably taking something that he's not supposed to.
Hey.
He's gonna live forever, and he's gonna look that exact same way when he's 70, and we'll all be like, What's up?
It's the plastic surgery he got done.
It's all that avocado tequila. We should try and find some. I'm kind of intrigued.
Yeah.
What's that?
The avocado ice cream too.
Fat ass. You want some ice cream?
Damn it.
For I have Peyton winning as well in mine. I took this very simply. All of the running events, I have Peyton Manning, except for the 110-meter hurdles. Kind of for what Craig said. I think Tom wins the hurdles, because I feel like he's probably a little more athletic at his like peak. He's probably not as quick as we've kind of outlined, but he's probably a little more athletic than Peyton Manning was. So the jumping event, so long jump and high jump, I had Tom as well. And then pole vault, I had Tom. And then the throwing events, I had Brady. Throwing events, I had Manning. 1500, I had Manning. Pretty simple. So yeah, I wind up with Manning 64. Maybe we'll keep doing this in this format. Maybe we'll find two random people that don't do track to pair up against each other in decathlon. Maybe at least during this Olympic talk. We'll have to think about something else. One last football topic. We have two, but there's one more that I wanted to talk about on this portion, was the new onside rule kicks that got announced. Any thoughts on what they said about those?
Yeah, I have some things that when I saw that I was like, oh, okay, no fun league is back at it. Everybody's been calling the NFL the no fun league for a while just because of these implements, which I understand. It's all about the safety. I totally get it. We don't CTE, Goodell being exposed for like hiding that kind of stuff is insane. And I like that there won't be as many injuries, but immediately I think of the Super Bowl between the Peyton Manning and Drew Brees Saints and Colts, where they open the second half with an onside kick and then they go on a 13-0 run and then eventually take the Super Bowl. And I think if that onside kick doesn't happen, I don't think the Super Bowl win happens.
Sure.
Yeah, I think that those kind of like massive shifts in energy really takes a lot out of the team that didn't get the recovery. We see like the Seahawks and Packers. I know that one was like more like obvious when it was an onside kick, but like it's kind of scary when it comes down to it. And now that the rules are being shifted, I feel like people are like a lot less threatened by an onside kick. I think it favors the receiving team a lot more because you're going to get it and then just fall to the ground and then that's it.
Yeah.
Which, like I said, I understand players' health is the main priority when it comes to sports in general. But man, like we will never see anything like that Super Bowl ever again. Never.
Yeah.
And maybe it's for the better, but I like thrilling games. I don't like to watch boring games. So yeah, I'm not a big fan of the new rules, but I get it.
Yeah, I felt like the biggest thing that changed with the new rules was nothing much really changed. Like who's really kicking? I mean, it's just the loss of like the surprise factor. I mean that like you have since you have to declare, but like the other rules that they stated, no onside kicks until the fourth quarter was probably when they were doing most of them anyway. Have to declare you're attempting, so that's that, and then you have to be losing. So like all of those were normally what was going on. The lack of declaring, like was Sean Payton the head coach of that Saints team
Yeah.
back then? Because I think like week one this year, like first kickoff, he did an onside kick. It didn't work, and I think they got their butts kicked. But yeah, Joey, thoughts on the new onside kick rules?
Yeah, I mean, what happened to the game I love? What's going on? I get this player safety thing, and that's great. Don't get me wrong, but what happened to the game I love, man? I mean, I remember back in the day with these kickoffs, guys like Devin Hester, like a Jacoby Jones, rest in peace, like a Josh Cribbs, right? It was so exciting to see these kickoffs, and we'd see highlights every single week or every other week of guys taking it to the house, and there's huge moments about it. You don't see that anymore, like ever. And I get player safety is a big thing. I agree that it should be a big thing. But like even with this onside kick, like the players have to line up in a certain area, and the kickers like by themselves and can't go to till a certain like it's
With the new kickoff rules.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's just not. I don't know, man. It's not the same. It's not the same anymore. And I don't know, man. All I have written down for this is what happened to the game I love, but that's just how I feel. That's just coming from my heart right there,
Deep down,
deep down.
deep down. I didn't look a ton. I looked like really briefly into the new like kickoff rules, but the nice thing I liked about that is I think that's only on like a 1 year probationary thing. Like if they see, because I think the hope is that it's not only impacts player safety, but it probably, I think they made it so there's a kick return every single time. So that way, hopefully, there is a little bit more excitement to it, and there's a little more like. But obviously, if it doesn't work, they'll get rid of it. Yes, they are the no fun league some of the time, but yeah. Do either of you have any other thoughts on onside kick or kickoffs at all? Not really. Okay, no worries. MLB trade deadline happened yesterday. Did either of you have any thoughts on any of the moves that happened? Joey, you're nodding your head. What do you got in mind?
Yeah, I mean, I just have a couple winners and then a big loser from it. I think the Padres are the big winner of it. I think the Padres adding
Yeah.
a guy like Tanner Scott, who is a closer that they much needed with a 1.18 ERA. I think that's huge for them. I think the Phillies adding Estevez, who hasn't given up a run since May 28th, I have written down. That's huge for them. I think those two being big buyers was really big for their World Series chances. As a Guardians fan, I'm not a fan of that they're boosting their World Series chances, but it is what it is. The Rays fire sale, I think, was good for them. And then, I don't know what the White Sox are doing, man. Garrett Crochet, their biggest trade piece, they just held on to him. And I think, I know there's reports, I saw reports about like teams being concerned about his contract and everything like that.
Well, yeah, that was the
But-
big thing with him was that the worry, he said that he was not going to pitch in the playoffs unless he was given a contract extension. Because he has 2 years of arbitration left, I believe. And I think if he didn't receive, he wanted that security a little bit, which makes some sense. But Craig, I'll let you go next, and then I'll kind of say what I have.
I had a few winners and losers as well. I'll start with the losers. Yeah, White Sox were horrible. Their whole whatever. I think that the Yankees did not do a good job. Yes, they got Jazz, cool, Aura guy, awesome, and he's playing great. Their issue is pitching though. Their pitching is terrible. I think that I have written down past 35 games they have the highest ERA, 5.95.
Out of the starters, yeah.
Out of start. That's disgusting. So they get Jazz, and I get that they're in win now, and they have been for quite a bit, and they haven't won anything. But pitching has to be a very high priority when it comes to like starting pitching. I think the Giants had a terrible trade deadline. Cobb is gone, and Jorge's gone, but then you snag Mark. I don't know. It's just kind of weird that they like went back a couple steps and then went forward.
Yeah.
And then they keep Blake Snell, so it's like, what exactly is happening? Like, why was there some dispute between Cobb and Soler, and they just wanted both of them gone? Like with the
I don't know if Cobb's even pitched this year, but yeah.
I mean, he's a stud when he does. I think that the Twins not doing anything at all might bite them in the end. I don't know. That's just a hitch I have. I think the main winners, the Dodgers, had a pretty decent deadline. I mean, getting a Golden Glove winner, kind of nice. Let alone Jack. I don't even know how to pronounce his last name. I'm not gonna lie.
Flaherty.
All right. And then I think that the Royals look pretty solid, just in general. And the Braves bringing back that's awesome. Shout out to the Braves, man. I think that was pretty cool. I always like to see a good reunion. And then my last one is that, oh yeah, Joey, you covered this, is that the Rays selling big time. They got 14 new prospects. That's huge. And they saved $55 million over the next 2 years. That is massive.
Yeah.
It's going to pay off a lot in the long run for sure.
Yeah, especially they pinch their pennies around there in Tampa. So, yeah, you guys kind of hit everything. I obviously was paid attention to it, and you guys kind of hit everything. I kind of wanted to talk about it from more of a big picture standpoint in terms of like trade deadlines. The biggest issue, like you mentioned, Joey, especially some of like the Phillies and like the Padres and Craig, I'm trying to think of what teams you specifically mentioned. I can't remember, but a lot of the big trade deadline balance, especially in the MLB, because you are trading prospects, it feels like it's more debating between like sacrificing wins on future teams to improve the current roster, because you are trading these prospects. And I heard someone refer to like some of these guys as you're trading away a lottery ticket, because of how long it takes some of these guys to get through the minor leagues, just because the MLB, like, getting to the pros is so much different than a lot of the other sports that it's difficult to balance between, because you never know who's going to hit and who's not going to. And like, it's not like you're trading like first round picks all that often or anything. Like, you're not trading picks, like, and yeah, it's kind of tough. But like the two big teams you mentioned, Padres and Phillies, is they gave up lots to get what they wanted. And I don't know if you can tell, I'm a big Red Sox fan. Don't know if you guys knew that about me. Yeah. Don't know if you knew that, but that was kind of like where I obviously paid a lot more attention to them. But theirs was like trying to like still like improve the current roster while not. They didn't trade away any of their major prospects, but helped the team without sacrificing future wins. Which, yeah. Any other thoughts on anything from the? I know I talked a lot there, and I probably said a whole lot of nothing, but that was probably just a nothing burger, and I was just yapping. Classic Topher yapping. Yeah. No other thoughts about MLB trade deadline. Okay. No worries. I think Boyo of the week time.
Boyo of the week.
All right, Craig. We'll give you a drum roll. Who is your Boyo of the week?
Ben Jarvis Green Ellis.
Woo! The law firm. Why'd you pick Ben Jarvis Green Ellis?
Played for the Patriots for a little, so I mean, I've always kind of liked the obscure Patriots players that came in like after their prime, like Steven Jackson. I don't know, just running backs like that. He was a stud in Madden 12. I just remember running up the middle, halfback draw every single time, just straight up the middle. And Mr. Green Ellis would at least get me a first down from what I remember before I put my controller through the TV. But yeah, no, Ben Jarvis is one of the coolest names. I've never heard another Ben Jarvis in my life. So yeah, shout out to the law firm.
Joey?
Yeah, he was an Indiana Hoosier for a little bit in college before transferring to Ole Miss. First Ole Miss running back with back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons. And actually, I had a buddy I played basketball with back in school who was related to Ben Jarvis Green Ellis. So him and his dad would drive out to every single Bengals game when they were on the Bengals. That's when I played basketball with him and watch the Bengals play no matter where it was. So that was kind of a cool connection. I always was a big Ben Jarvis Green Ellis fan because of that. Also, my dad's a Bengals fan, so was nice. It was cool seeing him in Cincy.
You made
What's
all
the-
of those things up.
I'm dead serious. I'm dead serious.
Why have we never heard of that?
Because when do we talk about Ben Jarvis Green Ellis? What?
To be fair, my bag might just be not that deep, but I do not remember Ben Jarvis Green Ellis whatsoever. So this was the first time I had done my research into him. My bag just might not be that deep. I'll be honest.
Why are we acting like I had friends back in the day and didn't just memorize sports stuff? We all know I memorized sports stuff, and that's what I did for fun. I mean, I know every D1 mascot, knew every D1 college basketball head coach at one point. Like, Ben Jarvis Green Ellis, that's right up my alley. Plus, my dad's a Bengals fan, like I said, so watching the Bengals games back in the day was cool. And seeing him play.
Do you remember what year you know every college basketball head coach from?
Yeah, I believe it was 2015 to 16.
Do you think you still could?
Nah, I couldn't say. If you gave me like some of the big ones, I could tell you the big ones.
Okay,
I don't know who like Winthrop's head coach was. I might know who Winthrop's head coach was, but I'm not exactly sure.
All right. Well, one of these episodes we'll test that, and we'll test your ability to name Division I mascots. I know we did that one time at that one track meet at Carroll, and it was Craig. Were you there for that?
I don't remember.
I can't remember if you were either. But yeah, we sat there for like 20 minutes listing. Like I was on Wikipedia, like looking through all the Division I mascots and naming like as obscure. And I think you had one that I think you said it in a different language.
I said Cowboys instead of I think it was the Vaqueros, which is Spanish for cowboy. So whoops.
Close enough. Ben Jarvis Green Ellis, back to him. The law firm, that's got to be one of the cooler nicknames, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We need to start bringing back cool nicknames. I think.
Oh yeah.
Like hearing the Slim Reaper come up with KD a bunch on like the broadcast the other night. There's this guy in the Red Sox farm system. His nickname's the Password, and I think that's got to be hard. There's this player on the Giants. He's the grandson of the Wind. Like,
Wow.
Yeah, because his dad is the son of the Wind. Like, his dad was he's a Japanese baseball player. So like, yeah, we gotta start coming back to pretty cool nicknames. Maybe that's what we'll spend another one of these times doing, is coming up with nicknames for different players.
As long as one of them sticks, that's all that matters at the end of the day.
As long as one of them sticks. Yeah, maybe we'll wait till we pop off enough to get. We'll be like, can we get somebody on this podcast so we can give them a nickname, something like that. Maybe we'll start DMing random sports players and be like, hey, you want to come on? Bill Belichick switched over to a gambling company, so maybe we could get him to come on. He's like 70-something dating like a 20-year-old.
Yeah, that's wild. That's my go.
Don't hate the player, hate the game.
Like he's probably older than her dad.
He is.
Could you imagine? He is? Has that been confirmed?
I saw something that said he is, yeah.
Could you imagine like introducing that? If you're like, hi, this is not only is this Bill Belichick, like, but he's old enough to be my dad.
It's pretty
Could you
awesome.
imagine? That'd be pretty cool. I mean, it's Bill Belichick, but then I'd be like, wait, Bill Belichick's dating my daughter. That's a little. Bill, if you're out there listening, I know you're a big follower of the Boyos, but if you're out there, if you want to ever want to come on the pod, feel free to DM us. We'll get you on the schedule at some point. We'll figure it out, right? We could probably slot him in for what, like 15, 20 minutes?
Yeah, we can make time. We can make time.
Yeah, we can make time.
Our people will be in contact with his people if he reaches out.
Yeah.
We'll have our people.
We have people.
We will have them handle that.
Yeah, we have people. Yeah, that's for the people behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Should we get people?
I don't think we can afford people right now, Topher. We don't have sponsorships yet. We're not making any revenue off of this. It says we're projected to make $4 to $16 off of YouTube within the next couple months, but we have to get to certain points before we can monetize that, so we can't collect on those earnings. But
On the YouTube? I was wondering
Yeah.
how that worked.
we have to get to I believe it's like 1,000 subscribers maybe before we can monetize. So
Craig, we're gonna need to get to work on that. Start making fake accounts, okay?
Bet. Sounds great.
All right. And
Yeah,
send it
those
to all your
numbers.
Craig and Koff followers too.
Oh, absolutely.
yeah.
Maybe we should get T-shirts made up and start walking around with them at like meets and stuff,
That would be
like
good.
wherever we go to.
It's a good idea.
Yeah, Coach
Do you
would
think
love
people will enjoy this part more than when like we're just talking now? Like we would probably have this exact same conversation offline.
Yes.
I think my parents like hearing this normal talk stuff, and that's what I've been getting a lot of good comments that we just kind of flow naturally. So hey, if the conversation goes here, man, it goes here. Also, real quick, shout out Peyton Heiser getting engaged.
Yeah, shout out Peyton, Caleb
Big shout out to
Williams. Yeah, Caleb Williams. We've talked about you a lot. We've been drizzling honey on you, goat. If you ever want to come on the pod, once again, we'll make like once you win a ring, we'll give you like 15, 20 minutes. But until then, we'll give you like 5 to 10. But if you want to accept Peyton's wedding invite, that'd be pretty cool. Yeah.
Please.
I can't believe I don't even know if I'm going to this wedding, and I can't believe I'm endorsing to go to.
Yeah, yes, yeah.
Like I'm talking about other people going to this wedding.
You guys are going.
I better be. Peyton's my guy. I was explaining to him how arbitration works for baseball and team years of control. Shout out Peyton. I love you, Peyton. We're gonna get you on the podcast at some point.
Go.
You're my
Hey,
guy.
If we went through the 999 together, we're bonded for life.
Yeah,
so.
we're bonded for life. Yeah,
That and an indoor whitewater 5K. If you survive those two things together, then hey man, you're like that.
Why not? We did the not people who don't know. We did the 999 a couple months ago, and we did it in a Red Sox game, and they won that night. So every time the Red Sox go on a little losing streak, I'm like, I need to break this out. Like, do I need to run that play? Like, if I have to do it every night for them to bring us to the promised land, I'll do it. No questions.
Y'all
No
have way
question.
too many recent championships to be that desperate for a chip. If you're a Guardians fan, I get it.
You want
but you're,
to know what my
you're only
favorite
sixth this century.
You want to know what my favorite championship is? The next one.
Great quote.
The only one I look forward to. Well, I'll run that play in the playoffs if they need it, but yeah. Anybody got any final thoughts?
Thanks for
Joey?
having me on.
Nope.
Sorry, I cut out for a second there. I think you said final thoughts. I'm gonna guess.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening. Go Bucks. And yeah, roll Boyos, baby.
You're a Tampa Bay fan? Oh, you're not allowed to talk anymore. Craig, go ahead. I'm muting your mic.
Yeah, thanks
That's
for having me.
Ohio State, not Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Michigan owns you, by the way. But yeah, no, thanks for having me on. It's always nice to talk to the more ball-knowing people from Carthage. Which, hey, you know what? I'll do it right here and now. I am officially coming back to Carthage. That's it.
Let's go.
Nobody's been told of this other than everyone at Carthage. So yeah, this is the official Craig Hundley to Carthage. I will have a post up soon. Just a little self.
Here, I'll do you a favor. I will clip this off, and we when you post, we will post this on our on all of our channels. Joey, go ahead. You raise your hand.
Yeah, real quick, I just want to put it out there that there's current betting odds for the song that Craig's going to use in his post, whether it's Homecoming by Kanye West or Coming Home. So,
Where are
anyone
these
who wants-
betting odds?
It's currently minus 150 based on some insider knowledge that's going to be coming home, and then plus 150 for homecoming. So, again, if anyone wants to get in on the action, we don't
I'm
condone
taking
gambling.
I'm taking plus 10,000. Greedy by Tate McRae. Don't just got a feeling. Just got a feeling.
10,000 might be generous.
What's that?
10,000 might be generous for that.
It's a banger. It should be.
What about Who I Smoke?
Who I Smoke would be a good one.
Might-
What are some other good ones that we could? You'll figure it out. Yeah. But look out for that. We'll clip this off and we'll announce it. They'll know as soon as this comes out tomorrow morning now. So,
Awesome.
like I said, always looked better in red than he did in purple. Joey, you kind of went through your final thoughts, Craig. My final thoughts. Thank you to everyone that's watched and supported and reached out about it. So far, we really enjoy hearing that you guys enjoyed it. If you don't like it, I don't care. Once again, maybe we'll have to start like commenting on people that like comment on our different like social media, like you Boogie Nights. If I ever see your name again, I'll come back and I'll talk to you. I wonder if you think he listened. Probably not.
No,
Yeah,
there's no
no,
shot.
you think he watched any of our other reels?
No, he just says two white boys don't know ball,
Maybe.
and then I call it a day.
Yeah, good point, Joey. You cut out. Every time you cut out, I just pretend like I know what you're saying.
It's okay. This is fine. This is fine.
Yeah, your audio, it should carry over totally fine into the recording. From my understanding of how this works, like our picture quality should be better. But yeah, shout out Boogie, DeMarcus Cousins, and what if it's DeMarcus Cousins that's commenting on our TikTok?
They got Wi-Fi in Taiwan?
That'd be pretty cool if we were commenting.
What?
Sorry.
That's a good point. We don't know.
No idea.
They do.
The Amish don't.
They always
Yeah,
have
Amish
Wi-Fi.
You ever been to Taiwan, Joey?
No?
And that's
Okay.
what I said. That's not a camel.
Yeah,
It's not life. But yeah.
You we did not. We didn't hear anything you said. We heard that's not a camel. That's what?
That was perfect.
I knew I was cutting out there, so I decided to just go with that as my opener there, and just see what you guys were thinking.
I kind of want to end it there, but Red Sox, can you pretty please with the cherry on top, keep winning games. Rafael Devers hit a walk-off double tonight, so keep winning games. Shout out Lower Merion, shout out the London Lions, shout out the Boston Red Sox. Thank you for listening once again. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, follow, leave comments. Why don't you? And we will see you all next week. Have a good night, everybody.
BBL Tracy.